Well, hi again, everybody. The football season continues, and there's a little affair coming up Friday night at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium that we all look forward to every year, called Robert E. Lee against John Tyler. The series began in 1958. This year, we've got a couple of brand new head coaches to introduce to this old rivalry, and one of them is with us, Head Coach Darrell Piske, the new head football coach at Robert E. Lee. What have you been told about Robert E. Lee against John Tyler?
Well, I didn't really, after watching them play and doing all that and going to their playoff game last year, of course, Cannon, seeing the crowd they have, I didn't need much telling, but I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of kids know each other from the teams and stuff like that. What really surprised me was the sportsmanship that, I watched last year's film and things like that when I got here, but just seeing the sportsmanship that the kids displayed to each other, and thought that was a pretty classy ball game.
Now, you were telling me before we went on, in your days at Fairfield, you guys had rivalries, but they were town against town. But this is a town where everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
They've grown up together. Mm-hmm. Some of them have gone to middle school together. So they're friends most of the time, except for that 3-hour period on Friday night, and they won't be very friendly, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that's the fun part of rivalries like this, is you wish them the best. I hope John Tyler wins every football game but one. And so maybe we told Rickland they need to have an off week in week 3. Other than that, play like champions. So it'll be fun.
Well, and again, that game is coming up Friday night. We'll get back to that in just a moment, but the Red Raiders coming off a loss, a pretty good, entertaining football game Friday night at Lufkin. 41-31 was the final. Coach, you don't like 0-2, but on the other hand, you can see progress, can you not?
Yeah, I mean, measurable progress defensively after the first quarter or so. They showed some signs of life, which is good. Offensively, we just got to match them up. At the same time, have both of them firing on all cylinders. Offensively, we looked good early. Then kind of slowed down there in the third quarter, which is a very important quarter, and then kind of picked it up back towards the end. So we just got to get consistent on both sides at the same time.
Last week we talked about one of the things that you needed to work on defense was missed tackles. You missed 32 in that Sulphur Springs game. It looked like you got that number way down.
Yeah, we did a lot better. Now what we got to do is learn to bring our feet. If you notice during the game, nearly every pile, I can only remember one that went the correct direction. Once we made contact, we got to learn to bring our feet now. The guys were filling their assigned gaps a lot quicker, a lot better, getting in position, actually getting their hands on them, making tackles, but we were catching instead of driving them back, so that we'll have to get better at that.
Let's start with offense. Before we look at the video of the game, who played well for you Friday night?
Of course, line did a good job. We had Lane Hager out, and Little Holtz filled in for him and did a tremendous job. And the line's getting better and better and opened up some good holes for us. The Weeks kid, sophomore tight end's getting better at his blocking and route running. Of course, Riley did another pretty good job managing the game. LaQuintis ran about the same as he did the week before. He's hard to tackle. New guy Sanders, Damian, filled in some at tailback and showed some signs of life and quickness. Of course, Bryce Wilkerson, I think, had 108 yards on 7 receptions or something. So, we're starting to find some guys, and it's not just LaQuintis. Starting to find some guys. A little Dunn kid did a good job running the ball at fullback. So, starting to develop more weapons than just LaQuintis, which is going to help us in the long run.
Yeah, a little depth back there, because Marcus is trying to play defense too. So you've got to have that depth, don't you?
Yeah.
Damian Sanders, that was number 32, right? Tell me a little bit about him.
Move-in kid from White House, really a receiver, but he's got so much speed and quickness that we want to utilize his speed and quickness there in the backfield with Marcus playing full-time defense last week. So seemed like a good kid. He works hard. He's pretty smart football-wise, because really he was just thrown to the lines without a whole lot of reps at tailback, being an inside receiver, but he handled it well.
And as far as the passing game went, were you pleased? There was a couple of drops. There was a touchdown drop that would early in the ball game, but by and large, the passing game, how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, it's not bad. I think we threw for 176 yards, something like that, 178. So, we're going to just get better at that. Our routes are getting better. Still got to work on our fade route. We're drifting out too soon, not staying vertical long enough, stuff like that. But overall, we were pleased with the passing game again. We just got to continue to run crisper routes and lower or up our percentage of completions.
I know you were tried to throw this. You did throw the screen pass a few times Friday night, did you not? I mean, what kind of a weapon is that for you?
That's big, you know. The tackles. It's hard on those big tackles, and we got to continue to work on that. I know one time we were successful out there, and then one time Big Boy didn't get out there. Page didn't get out there, and we got hit in the mouth. So it just takes time of running them, and so we're going to continue to work on that, because that, you know, that's 8 and 9 toss. You know, because you're getting it off the edge. It's not a long throw, and you're getting the ball in space pretty quick.
It's tougher to run than it looks, though, isn't it?
It's pretty hard to get the timing right with the kick out block.
I mean, just for the fan, that looks like that ought to be an easy play to run, right?
Yeah, unless you're a 300-pound guy trying to show pass set and then go out there and kick out a little old skinny guy. So those skinny guys in space have a little bit of advantage, but we're going to get better at it.
Yeah, that's the kind of play. I remember the Cowboys under Landry in the 70s. I'm old enough to remember that. They were great at it, but you got to if the linemen are not out in front, then the back is kind of hanging out to dry.
That's right. They've got to get out there, and otherwise that, you know, that number one guy is going to get you pretty quick. You may make a move, make him miss, but most of the time the odds are in his favor.
And you were pleased with the offensive line by and large on
Friday? I thought they did good. They got a little better.
Right.
Still got some things to improve on, of course, but you know, they got better and stayed consistent the whole game. Got to keep working on our pass set and our pass protection. But overall, run blocking wise, they did a pretty good job.
I know you held a couple of kids out of the first half because they had missed practice on Monday, but by and large, defensively, you're able to work a few new guys into the defensive line. Bryson Parker, I believe, a sophomore, started for you.
Yeah.
Did you see something out of that group that you liked?
Well, those guys really, you know, they did a good job there. You know, you tell the first quarter it took them a little bit. They've been playing all offense, and now we throw them over on defense because of the situation. But, you know, they got better and better, and then, of course, you know, second quarter played pretty good, and then, you know, get all the guys back. So, you know, that's the hard part, is finding the right people, and that's where we're still in the process of, is, you know, the right people to cross over and the ones that don't need to cross over. And, of course, you know, Parker and Vickers, you know, stepping in over there did a good job. And
linebacker, is Marcus going to more and more become a defensive guy? How do you see his role on this football team?
Well, he's, you know, right now he's going to have to be a defensive guy. We've got to continue to develop. Our linebackers got better, but, you know, what we do, they've got to be really good. And so he's a football player, so we're going to have to use him over there till we get
He is. You stick him anywhere and play.
Anywhere on the football field. We can put him at guard or tackle and hit battle.
He'd probably do a pretty good job, wouldn't he?
He's a good kid, good football player. But till we get some other guys, some depth guys developed, we won't get to use him as much on offense as we'd like to. But, you know, like I say, by district, we ought to be able to get some other guys to put in there and then ease him back over on some offensive side.
What about the secondary? How'd they do?
Not bad. They we gave up some big plays, I guess, 2 or 3 times that we gave up a big play. You know, we gave up a little bit too much cushion early, and they're throwing just a stop route, and so we've got to get better at being able to take that cushion away and make them go vertical some. You know, the short throws, the easy throw, you want to make them try to tease them into trying to throw the fade route, and they're going to catch some of them because we're playing against great athletes, just going to go up and catch them. But the further they have to throw it, then the less chances of completion.
You called a timeout on the last play of the game to give Lumi Kaba a chance to kick a 54-yard field goal.
Yeah, I don't know if the Lufkin guys were excited about it, but
were they? Did they say anything about it?
Well, a guy asked me if it was a school record. Like, why else would you call a timeout to kick a field goal the last play of the game? But you know, he's a tremendous asset. Really, he's the best kicker I've ever seen in person on a high school team. And after he missed that first one, you know, he kind of had his head down, and I just was hoping we'd get a shot to get him one more shot, and then we got a penalty and backed us up, and that kind of thing. So, you know, we don't mind if people get upset with us, because, you know, I want him in the future. I want him knowing, hey, if it's 50 and in, I count on you. And so that was good for the team and good for Lumi. So
no disrespect to Lufkin. You just wanted to give him a chance
that's right.
to kick a field goal,
we're talking about it the whole time on headphones. Let's get Lumi in position, kick a field goal. He needs some confidence, and so whatever it took.
He
to
hammered
get
it
that done,
too, didn't he?
Well, he's been good from about 65. But no, he's going to be a tremendous asset. So, you know, you got to worry about yourself and your team, and wasn't like we was running the score up on somebody or something.
Right,
We're just trying to get little kinks worked out before district starts.
Did you get that worked out with Lufkin after the game? They get that, do you think?
Yeah, you know, heat of battle, sometimes you get upset and stuff, but once you think through it, you know it wasn't any big deal. They didn't have to line up. They could have gone on the sidelines. We just kicked it against air, but you know, Coach Quick's a good guy, and they'll be fine. Yeah, they'll be fine with it.
Is Libby being recruited?
he's getting some looks. You know, kickers are usually the last ones they jump on. You know, they see what all they can get first, and then they go find them a kicker.
Right.
Somebody's going to wise up and realize he's pretty special.
He's pretty good. He can punt, too.
You know,
he might be able to do both jobs
Yeah,
for some
he
team.
will be able to do both jobs for some team. And then, you know, he might be kicking on, you know, one of these Sundays or Monday night things. But he's really pretty special. And he works at it, got a great leg. But, yeah, as a coach, you know, sometimes you look around and you're kind of like those guys in the stands. You're looking at these college guys going, are they missing something?
Yeah, no.
But you just, you know, let the chips fall where they are. He's going to be fine. He'll play football somewhere.
All right, Coach Piske, as always, brings along game video of the Lufkin game. Again, it was a 41-31 game. A lot of fireworks on both sides of the football on Friday night. So let's roll the tape and take a look at the Panthers and the Robert E. Lee Red Raiders. You're on the road, so you're here in the white uniforms. Which, by the way, Coach Piske will show you in a minute, has brought along his helmet. We'll get to that in a moment. We got a new stickered up Robert E. Lee football helmet that we'll let him explain here in just a bit after we see the highlights.
There you go.
Okay.
Get some good things before we look at the helmet.
All right, here's the opening kickoff, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's Bryce Wilkerson making a pretty good return. You know, we worked the dog out of special teams, so, you know, kids are starting to figure out how important it is. And it's not a playoff, it's a play where we can make something happen.
I said that was opening kickoff. They scored on the first series, so this would have been after that.
Yeah, it's our first kickoff return.
Your first kickoff return, okay. Now you're showing some special teams here, right? That's what we're looking at here right now?
Yeah, that's the, I didn't know it was on there twice, but.
That's all right. We'll take a look at it again.
Oh, yeah, Bryce will want to see it twice.
Bryce Wilkerson, number 22. He plays wide receiver for you.
Plays some inside receiver, plays a little tailback.
Little tailback, right?
Does it all.
Yeah.
He's quick. Got to get him the football.
Right in the end zone view of that same play, I think, right?
Oh, man.
That's all right. We this is a unique deal because aren't you? I mean, now we know that the cover guys are supposed to fill their lanes. When you're blocking on a return, I mean, how do you coach
You've got
these
them numbered. You know, they've got certain guys they got to get and things like that, and have them numbered and pick up their guy. And we got to get better. That front line is tough on them. They got to protect against the onside and then still be able to get back and get their guy and get in position to wall him the way we want him walled.
All right, you're in the I formation, mostly under center on Friday night. You didn't run a whole lot of shotgun.
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. That's coming, but this is our nasty set, and of course LaQuintus saw a crease, and you know, he still got the speed. He might have shut it off a hair earlier there and gave that guy a chance to run up on him. But
well, I was wondering. That's why I asked the question I did earlier. Did his hamstring tighten up at all there? Because I mean, I know he's been having problems.
You know, there's not much telling, but yeah.
But he's so
still
special.
got it. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And Lufkin's pretty fast too. I mean, as fast
Oh,
as
yeah,
Lufkin is,
that
they've
was
got
the
guys
good
that can
thing.
run too.
Oh. Somehow we got three angles.
No, that's
on here.
okay. I know we do that with JT. Now I want to the blocking. See, the hole opens up really nicely there. Was that a trap type thing?
No, that's just a regular old 9 toss, and the guys are zoning up full zone. They got a combo. You know, if one guy takes over your guy, then you're going up to the next level. So they're getting better. You know, that's the hard part. Anybody can line up. Misses a little Dunn kid on the fullback there running the football. He's getting better and better. Good kid. And
his name is Desmond
Dunn. Yeah, I think he's a junior. Might be a sophomore. They all run together every now and then.
How much you've got to Banks, who's a heck of a blocker, big kid, right?
Well, Manuel's the really big one.
Big one. Yeah.
Banks is kind of in between Dunn and him, and so you know we kind of got 3 of them mixing in there, trying to figure out, you know, fit the right mold.
Well, and the other 2 kids, Manuel and Banks, are more blockers, and you've been using them as blockers, haven't you?
Yeah.
All right, here's a screen pass.
Screen back to LaQuintus there. Did a good job. Line did a good job of selling it. You know, you got to have play action. Just continue to add the play action, you know, because we're going to be able to run the football, so we got to keep working on it.
Well, LaQuintus went up with like 150 yards on the night, rushing.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's having a pretty good night. He's getting better and better, and, you know, the guys downfield, again, they learn how to make their blocks downfield. Those turn into touchdowns instead of 30-yard gains.
164 on the ground for him, and he's special. And that was a 31-yard screen pass.
Yeah, I think that was his only reception.
And here you are about to punch it in.
Well, I don't know how the penalty made the highlight film, but
that's all right, because if it sets you back, I think we'll look at it 3 times.
we get to watch him jump 3 times, don't we?
Well, and because what's going to happen here, you know, that we see the movement up at the front.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you're going to set up for a 7-yard touchdown run by LaQuintus Wallace going in.
I guess you can tell by the video that the coaches were even tired on this weekend. Those late nights of getting back and hitting it again early the next morning.
But I think you'll like this play. Big hole.
Yeah, O-line did a good job making a big crease there. And of course, LaQuintus got the speed to bounce it to the edge.
Now, Emmanuel is the fullback here, is he not?
Right now, yes.
34.
You know, they got good push up front.
And the back end zone version of that. And I guess one of the keys there, you sold them kind of on the inside. The fullback blocked inside, it kind of sold Lufkin on that, didn't it?
And that's where, you know, you just got to tell the back to run with his eyes.
Now on defense.
Thinking this is Uwini and Deontay out there at that outside linebacker.
Justin Uwini was originally a tight end for you, listed as a tight end.
Yeah, he still kind of crosses over as a backup, but we need him as that hole player over there.
Now this Deontay Walker was the pick.
Yeah, I didn't know he could catch.
You had 2 picks.
Yeah, that's right.
On Friday night.
Yeah. This is the little new, yeah, I think this is the little new guy, Sanders, running with the football. He's pretty quick. Receivers do a decent job blocking off the edge over here.
What do you call that play with the 2 slots on the right?
That's just a nasty.
That's called nasty?
Nasty. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you can throw out of that formation.
Oh, yeah.
But they line up tight in a slot.
Yeah. You know, Big Chase did a good job of working his tail around.
Yeah, Ian Chase, the right tackle, big kid.
Yeah, he's gotten better and better and better with his feet and using his hands, and I think we'll get just another. No, I think they call this an incomplete, but that's a little sophomore Udofia at corner out there. He's going to be a good one.
Patrick Udofia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's the same play. Nice play. Didn't get the pick. Did you get the pick? You did not get the interception.
We argued, even though we saw it hit the turf, you know, trying to hope for one, but he did a good job breaking on the football. That's that short underneath stuff they've been wearing us out with early.
Playing cornerback's not an easy thing to do.
No, at any level. You know, not just the NFL's tough, but college is tough, high school's tough now, the way people throw the football around.
Another nice play in the middle.
I think that was Lavely.
Yeah, tell me about Lavely. We saw more of him than we did in week 1.
Yeah, he's doing good, and you'll see more and more. He's coming on.
You had good pass rush there too, didn't you?
Yes. You know, defensive line, starting to get their motor running all the time, and that's the thing is, you know, you can't take any plays off. C.J. Thompson's got better and better at linebacker. You know, that's going to help us. Pruitt kid stepped in the other night. Zach did and filled in for Marcus when he got hurt and did a good job. So they're starting to get better.
Now you're back on offense.
I think this is a little seam route.
Who makes that catch?
I think that's Lil Wilkerson. Pretty sure it's Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce Wilkerson. Nice ball.
Yeah, he did good timing. Missed one earlier to Marquiston, same route. So came back to it there, able to complete it. That's a pretty pretty tough route to cover. Even we have a hard time with seam route. That's the thing about those safeties, boy. They got to, corners have a job, but you get these safeties, it's got to be run support guys, and then you get them out there in space one-on-one with some of the athletes they have to face. It's pretty tough on them.
And for a kid making only his second start at quarterback, Poster's got.
He's going to be fine. Really, mind's right, and it's a good little run. Bryce got pretty good speed. That guy kind of underestimated his speed.
He really did. I mean, he had the angle on Bryce, and Bryce decided to fifth gear was necessary and ran right by him.
Yeah, he gave him that dead leg and went on by him.
Yeah, watch this here at about the 10-yard line. Bang. That poor Lufkin kid's going, where'd that come from?
Yeah, that's right. Where'd that burst come from?
Well, that's good. I mean, that was a very, very nice play, and it, at the time, got you back into the ball game because you outplayed Lufkin. You dominated the second quarter of that football game. Going into halftime is very much a football game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Held them there, laid drove down, got that field goal late, and then, of course, we had the ball coming out third quarter, and, you go score, you're up 28-24, and your mind's different, and attitude's different, so we got to come out better in the third quarter.
It was 24-21 at the half.
Yeah.
In favor of Lufkin.
That's right. Good job there in separating the receiver from the football.
Again, the pass rush was a whole lot better, too, than the Sulphur Springs game, wasn't it? Big improvement there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Adam, does a good job. We didn't have him in the Sulphur Spring game. He does a pretty good job, getting penetration. He's quick, strong.
Asaganasi, is that the way we pronounce his name?
Yeah, I call him Adam.
Okay, you don't go the whole route.
No, I don't even attempt it. There's several.
Yeah, but see,
I
have to on the radio. I've got to do the whole deal. So
Took me forever to get Eudofius down. I called him Soul Food forever because I couldn't remember how to say Eudofia.
Yeah. Yeah, that. One thing about the radio, you got to say the whole name.
Yeah. You can't just say number 32
number 29 or 32. Yeah. Nice move.
Bryce does a good job there making the guy miss. That's the thing, get those athletes the ball in space. It's hard to tackle them one-on-one. You're going to get them every now and then, but the odds are in their favor.
Being able to make a guy miss, that's something you can't coach. They either have that or they don't, right?
They either got it or they don't.
Yeah. All right, here on defense here, see what Lufkin does.
Good job swarming to the football.
And there you go. Good pressure.
Yes.
I think it was Asaganasi there making that play, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then of course the linebacker's filling, but that helped out there. It's just getting multiple hats to the football.
41-31 again was the final score. I know again, I know you're not into moral victories. You scored the last 10 points of the ball game to make it 41-31, and the game turned out to be pretty good. But again, this is all about teaching these guys actually how to close the deal and win these games, right?
Yeah, that's the tough part, and then to tribute to these guys because what we're telling them, what we're doing, we know it's going to work, know it's going to help us be successful. But then the delayed gratification because it's not coming right away. Yeah. And so it takes a special group to hang in there and keep battling and keep doing it. But I think we got the right group of kids to do it. And like I keep telling them, we want to win every Friday night, but you got to just continue to get better and work on it and know that by district you got to have the best product you can get out there because then when you win football games in district you get to play a little bit after that. So that's our ultimate goal.
John Tyler, the team this week, again, never a problem knowing what they do because you're around those guys a lot. But what they do Describe what John Tyler does offensively that makes them so good.
Well, number one, I don't think you can touch Ward in a phone booth with about 6 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that quick and that elusive, and you know, of course, they got Ross on the edge and Flyers kid, and their skill kids are just so talented that they do a great job of getting on the ball in space. And then, of course, you know, Ward doesn't really need the ball in space at all to be able to find space, because I watched the Lufkin film, and you know, they'd have about 7 guys in perfect position to have him pinned in, and then I'd look up and he'd be running around the end of them throwing a touchdown pass to Ross or somebody. So, you know, that's where they hurt you, is they're so fast, so athletic. And then the same way on defense, you know, speed makes up for a lot of mistakes. You know, if you're not as fast and you make a mistake, you probably cost you a touchdown. But when you got catch-up speed, you can always make up for that one little mistake.
And with JT, a busted play can turn into something really cool,
That's the scariest part of John Tyler is you hope they run every play and just hand it off or throw it, you know, on rhythm like they're supposed to. But yeah, when Ward gets to run around back there, he's unbelievable.
You know, when a kid is being coached, you know, you're coached to play, you know, to do your job, right, as a defensive player and not try to do too much. But when you run into a special group of kids like John Tyler, don't your guys occasionally have to kind of throw the book away and just go make a play? Yeah,
sometimes you just got to try to, you know, tackle them, you know, and make the play when you got to make it and stuff like that. And you know, we started about just turning some wild animals loose out there on the practice field. Some really fast one. And Shane and I were joking about that this weekend, going, really, we don't have to practice defense, just turn some really fast animals loose out there and go, hey, when you catch him, you're done.
That's right.
But
now you know what you're facing Friday
those guys are fast as lightning. So it's going to be a big challenge, and you know, like I say, wish them the best of luck, except this week.
This week,
and so, you know, just see where our kids are. I hadn't got to see how I've heard we play well in this game, and from what I've seen, we're going to need to. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, now, how do you handle? What do you tell your guys to handle rivalry week? How to handle a week like this when, you know, there's a little bit extra?
Well, there's a lot of distractions going on. It's kind of like homecoming week when they have something every day in school and things like that. But you know, as an athlete, you got to learn to stay focused during those times. Just like during a game, there's going to be distractions, and you know, somebody may be talking smack to you or hit you late or whatever, and you got to stay focused on the job at hand, and then just making sure you execute and take care of your business.
Now, the big picture says, now this used to be for years and years and years was a district game, but as of last year, this is not a district ball game. So, don't you also have to keep this game in perspective this week and look at the big picture?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the deal for us, trying to keep the kids, because we're programs are in 2 different places right now.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing to win a state championship, and we're playing to win a football game.
Right.
And so, you know, you got to keep and realize that the programs are at 2 different spots. But when it's a big rivalry, all that kind of goes out the window, and you just get to line up and knock your friend's head off, you know, for 48 minutes and vice versa. So it's a lot of fun for the kids.
Who were your rivals at Fairfield? Didn't you guys? I mean, I know you, but those are towns against towns, right?
Yeah, you know, Mahia was really the biggest rivalry. Teague, you know, Teague was a rivalry back in the day. Now it's just a rivalry because a few of those folks over just hated me. But, you know, our kids didn't really get excited about playing Teague anymore, and that's why they're not playing them right now. It just gotten to where it meant more to their whole city, and our kids didn't really, you know, care. But, you know, there were some good rivalries. Every place you go, you know, in Bartlett it was, you know, Bartlett Granger, you know. And so every town has rivalries, and that's what makes it fun.
All right, good luck on Friday night.
Appreciate it.
Again, 7:30 out of Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. JT and Lee JT, depending on what your point of view is on that. 7:30 Friday night. And again, get there early because there's always a great crowd. It's always a lot of fun to be there. If you've not seen one, if you live in this town, you really need to owe it to yourself to go watch these 2 teams play because it is a local tradition since 1958. For Coach Piske, I'm Bill Coates. Thanks for joining us.